Devin Haney saved Terrence Bud Crawford from Gary Russell. Let's talk.
Straighter, not a roundhouse right hand.
And that's what we've been talking about. The straight shot is the one where he gets leverage on it.
I don't want to kill somebody
back
for
a little
few
bit.
seconds.
Nah, I want a body on my record.
Now, I want to see you fight motherfuckers. I do. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you. As long as you're trying to fight the greats, the best competition.
Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we're here. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we're here. Yo, it's the best, fight the best. If you ain't with the moto, just click the link, bitch, and get buried like the rest. It ain't gonna work how you want it. These trolls already tried, too many come but don't leave. So if you here, you gotta die. I'm spitting straight facts. These bitches crying cause they hate that. The LDBC's the top topic, bitch, hate that. We the ones that bring the truth to these fans. So why you hate, I'ma laugh and keep counting these bands. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link, get the dance. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you.
Welcome to the graveyard.
Now, I need everybody to understand something. Gary Russell was on Terrence Crawford's neck. He wanted every bit of smoke with this man, was willing to take everything and anything to fight this man. He wanted it all. All right? He wanted all the smoke. He was gunning this man down, running this man down, going through this man's friends, talking about all kinds. He wanted everything. He wanted it all. Had fucking Lil Bernie talking about anybody from 130 and down, he'll fight him and blah, blah, blah. You know, Lil Bernie trying to be the guard dog for Terrence Crawford against Gary Russell and blah, blah, blah. And none of that shit was working. Gary was he was going through all that. He wanted all smoke with Terrence Crawford. All smoke. Terrence Crawford did not want to fight that man in the ring. Terrence Crawford talking about, oh, I'll break your neck outside the ring. We can fight outside the ring if I see you, although they have been in multiple places together for years. But mysteriously, all of a sudden, out of the clear blue sky, now Bud got all this vim and vigor and energy to beat up little Gary Russell when he sees him and break his neck outside the ring. But you seen him multiple times before that and said nothing. Then niggas say, oh, well, BFTB, the only reason why Bud didn't say nothing because Gary didn't say nothing. Yeah, but why would Gary say anything? Gary's the one that punched him in the face. What does he need to say? I punched you in your shit, bro. So he needs to go back and keep saying it over and over and over. He already did it. It was done. He punched that man in the face. And that man did nothing. And I don't care if someone tried to hold him back. Oh, they had to hold him back. So that was years ago. So you've been in a place with this man multiple times and you did nothing? Yeah, that was the nigga that punched me in my face, but you know that shit's over with. Yeah, you know, turn the other cheek. Yeah, he punched me in this one, but I'm a turn the other cheek type of nigga, so since he didn't punch me in this one, I'm okay. Well, if you're so cool with it, Terrence Crawford, if you were so cool, if everything was over, it was already past it, or yeah, he punched me in my shit, whether he snuck me or whatever, it doesn't really matter, he hit me, but you know, that's in the past, I'm just gonna leave it there. Then what you mad about when the man said it? What are you mad about it now? Why you want to fight the man outside the ring? Whatever. The bottom line is, where did all that vim and vigor go when Devin Haney jumped in? When Devin Haney jumped in, was like, yo, I'll fight you for it. I'll take that $1 million. You want $1 million? I'll give you $1 million to fight me. I'll give you $1 million. Now, I'm not going to go into that on how that played out because everybody already knows. But the bottom line is, where did Terrence Crawford go when Devin did that? That nigga shut Smooth the fuck up, bro. That's where he did. He shut Smooth the fuck up. He stopped talking about it. He just was like, Devin got it. Thank you, Devin. Devin? Oh, Devin's got it? Devin's gonna do it. Oh, Devin's gonna take that fight? Bet. That nigga shut smooth. He didn't say a fucking word. After Devin Haney jumped in and was like, yo, I'll take that fight. I'll take that. Terrence Bud Crawford shut smooth the fuck up. From a little nigga. Gary Russell's 126. 130. Talk about he's going to move to 135 or whatever. Now, when I did my live the other day, I told y'all a very simple formula. 1 plus 1 does not equal 11. It equals 2. When the formula don't add up, something's missing. Now, I don't give a fuck what you want to say is missing. Something ain't there. Now, if you want, oh, well, you know, the cake, they didn't put no sugar in the cake. Oh, well, you know, listen, the cake, it's got sugar. They just missing the flour. Oh, well, it's got flour, but it's not whole grain. It's white flour. However you want to slice it, dice it, sugarcoat and salt it, something is missing there. And I don't know what, but something's missing. But let's just think about those things that could potentially be missing. You didn't have a fight, Terrence Crawford. Gary Russell didn't have a fight. Gary Russell was willing to fight you. Gary Russell was willing to clear up that situation. You know, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Gary didn't have a fight. You didn't have a fight. 1 plus 1 equals a fight. So it equals. Now, I want you to understand something. Terrence Bud Crawford turning down Gary Russell. Oh, man, I ain't doing this. I don't get nothing from that fight. Is the exact same thing that Gary Russell does. But how come with Gary Russell, Gary Russell fighting a bum. Gary Russell fighting a bum. Hey, Gary Russell said, oh man, I don't want to fight no bums. All I want to fight is the top competition. That's what Gary says. I don't want to fight no bums. All I want to fight is the top competition. I want to fight the best. That's all I want. I don't want to fight no bums, just the top competition. And we shit on Gary because Gary doesn't fight anybody. Once a year, just a mandatory. That's it. Once a year. But we're telling Gary, bro, fight, fuck it, bro. Fight bums, fuck it. Just go through the whole gambit. Get on a fucking bum bash. Fuck it. Fight bums. But we praise Bud for not fighting Gary. So you shit on Gary. Oh, Gary, you gotta just fight bums. You ain't fighting nobody. All you're fighting is a mandatory once a year. You just once a year fight, just fight bums. Get in a bum bash. But then we praise Bud. Oh, man, come on. Bud don't get nothing for beating little Gary. Bud don't get nothing from that. He don't get nothing. Oh, what Bud ain't gonna get nothing from that? Come on, this is crazy, man. Why you want Bud to fight Gary, man? Gary, what is Gary? Gary ain't nobody. Gary don't do nothing. Gary ain't nothing. So how can you shit on Gary and tell Gary to just go on a bum bash, but then tell Bud to don't fight Gary? And all of that ceased. It was shh. When Devin jumped in the picture. When Devin Haney jumped in and said something to Gary Russell. When Devin was like, I'm your Huckleberry. When Devin said that, all the Bud fans, next thing you know, now they're jumping on, oh yeah, Gary, why don't you fight Dev? Oh, you ducking Dev. Now he did duck Dev. It's a whole different story. But all the Bud fans were saying, oh, why don't you fight him? Oh, you gotta fight him. Oh, you scared. You talk about that. Oh, this is crazy. Why don't you fight Dev? See, Dev the boogeyman. He's scared. And Dev is the boogeyman. But you guys can't say that. Because the guy that you ride with was saved by the boogeyman. Yes. The guy that you rock with, Terrence Bud Crawford, was saved by Devin Haney. Because if Devin would have never said nothing, Gary would still be on Terrence's neck. Still. He'd still be going at this man. Right now. He wouldn't have let up. And the only reason why he let up is because Dev became more prevalent. He wouldn't have let up at all. He'd still be on Terrence's neck. Devin saved Terrence Crawford. Because at some point, even mainstream media, old media, however you want to slice it, dice it, whatever, even they would have been like, listen, Terrence, you ain't fighting nobody, bro. You're not fighting nobody, and this is a good fight. Listen, bro, we all think you beat the man, but what's the problem? We all thought you was going to beat Green Beans. We all thought you were going to beat Amir Khan. We all thought you were going to beat Jose Benavidez. We all thought you were going to beat Jeff Horn. What's the difference? We all thought you were going to beat these guys. So what's the difference with us all thinking you're going to beat Gary Russell? It's a payday for you, isn't it? It's not like he's telling you to move down. You don't got to move nowhere. He's going to you. At some point, that situation was going to happen. And Devin saved all of that. Devin saved Terrence Crawford from Gary Russell. And no one wants to talk about it. But I will. BFTB. Shout out to the LDBC. And I'm out.